Yesterday was the 10th death anniversary of English singer and songwriter, the late Amy J. Winehouse. Time flies when knowing it's been 10 years since the passing of Amy. Before her second album, Back to Black, her debut album, Frank, was released on October 20th, 2003. The album title refers to partly Frank Sinatra, who was an early influence on Amy. Producer Salam Remy wrote about the track Halftime from Amy's Lioness Hidden Treasures, an outtake from the recording sessions for Frank. Salam Remy produced many songs that were influenced by jazz and apart from two covers. Amy co-wrote every song from the album. Frank was not released until November 20th, 2007, just a month after the release of Back to Black in the US. It reached at number 3 in the UK, but number 33 in the US. At number 33, US didn't do Amy right. Frank is a great album, and why was it released 4 years later in 2007 in the US? Frank should have been released in the US at least in 2004. Featured singles from Frank include Stronger Than Me, Take the Box, In My Bed, F Me Pumps, Sent You Flying, and Help Yourself. There are also other nice songs like What Is It About Men, Amy, 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 Magic Through the Smoke, and many more. After Frank, Amy's focus shifted to the girl groups of the 1950s and the 1960s. That explains why she rocked the beehive hairdo, which most people made fun of, asking what was that on her head, is the rat's nest. Well, unless you know the history of music, women in the 1950s and the 1960s rocked beehive hairdos. So if Amy wanted to rock it in the modern day, let her rock it. Amy was inspired by the beehive hairdos when it came to groups like the Ronettes. Her second and final album, Back to Black, was released on October 27th, 2006, where she rose to fame in the United States. The album was based on her relationship with her then ex-boyfriend and future husband, Blake, who left Amy to pursue his ex-girlfriend. The short-lived separation spurred her to create an album that explores themes of guilt, grief, infidelity, and heartbreak in a relationship. 5 singles released from Back to Black were Rehab, You Know That I'm No Good, Back to Black, Tears Dry on Their Own, and Love is a Losing Game. Back to Black has been cited as being a key influence to the population of British soul throughout the late 2000s, paving the musical landscape for artists such as Adele, Duffy, and Estelle. On February 10, 2008, Amy won 5 Grammys, winning Best Pop Vocal Album, Best New Artist, Record of the Year, Song of the Year, and Best Pop Vocal Performance for Rehab. Despite her rise to fame, Amy went through a lot of pain. Her battles with substance abuse were the subject of much media attention. In 2005, she went through a period of drinking, heavy drug use, and weight loss. Her family believes the 2006 death of her grandmother, Cynthia, led to her addiction. In August of 2007, Amy was hospitalized due to an overdose of heroin, ecstasy, cocaine, ketamine, and alcohol. I remember when she had that one overdose. Thank God she did not die from that overdose. In interviews, Amy admitted to having problems with self-harm, depression, and eating disorders. There is also her ex-boyfriend and husband, Blake. Anybody remember this guy? Amy was in love with him, and he loved her. Blake admitted that he introduced Amy to crack cocaine and heroin. Blake and Amy were married on May 18, 2007 in Miami Beach, Florida. They were only married for 2 years as they did not have a healthy marriage. In a June 2007 interview, Amy admitted that she could sometimes get violent towards him after she had been drinking. In August of that year, they were photographed bloodied and bruised in the streets of London after an alleged fight. Blake ended up in prison from July 21, 2008 until February 25, 2009. Amy and Blake divorced on August 28, 2009. Blake claimed that Amy committed adultery. Well, I also heard that he committed adultery as well. Yeah, they obviously weren't meant to be in a relationship. I mean, they obviously loved each other, but yeah, it just wasn't meant to be. The paparazzi gave her hell. I like how Amy went after the paparazzi here. Yeah, get him, Amy. She also punched a fan as well. And it looked like somebody threw something at Amy. I don't know what that was. It looked like a hat. The fan obviously did something for Amy to punch the fan. Amy Winehouse got the same treatment as Michael Jackson. We all remember Michael was treated like crap by the media, pop culture, and people who accused him of being a pedophile. Well, it seemed like Amy got the same treatment. Matter of fact, you could pretty much say when it came to paparazzi, it made you think of Britney Spears. Got to the point for Britney where she just had a meltdown and, you know, the whole shaving her head crap. We all remember that one guy, Chris Crocker, who did a video about people need to leave Britney alone. Leave Britney alone! Tell him, Chris. He was hurt. Amy has a quote about Michael that I found at reddit.com. She said, you know how you either grew up in a Michael Jackson or a Prince house? For me, it was Michael Jackson. I could never decide whether I wanted to be Michael Jackson or marry him. I don't care what people say about him now because he's an effing genius. That's it. The end. He was robbed of his childhood, which is why he surrounds himself with children. When you're around kids, you can be a little kid yourself and pretend that life is magic, and you don't have to be one of those sweaty people going to work every day. I completely see what he's doing. She said this back in February 2004. 5 years later, Michael Jackson passed away. Of course, 2 years after Michael died, Amy Winehouse passed away. Two troubled people who were treated like crap. They died 2 years apart from each other. Isn't that something? And I remember people getting on Amy Winehouse appearance, especially people getting on her talking about she had a long face. Okay, so she had a long face. Who cares? Was Amy the most drop-dead gorgeous or supermodel pretty? No, but she wasn't unattractive, especially personality-wise, since she seemed nice, cool, sweet, down-to-earth gal.
This is all an advert for Fred Perry, by the way.
Is it?
Well, this is Fred Perry little like play suit, little romper suit, and yeah. You know, I've got Fred Perry deal, innit? So all the stuff's going to be coming out.
Okay.
Like,
You doing your own sort of line?
well, you didn't know about this?
No, I didn't know about
I'm doing Fred Perry. I've done 3 collections now. Yeah, but it's all weird because it's all like I'll be doing my autumn and winter.
Yeah.
And doing autumn and winter, and then doing spring and summer, but it's all for next year.
Okay.
So that my winter one will come out in about, it might be in stores now actually.
So you actually design it?
My first one. Yeah, I design everything. Like, so I think, yeah, this was in my first collection. It's cute, isn't it? I love it. Like, I love it.
Is that ugly? Is that ugly, you know, personality-wise? I thought Amy was cute and sexy. I loved her creamy skin. She was easy on the eyes. She had some pretty eyes. I didn't think she needed the eyelashes, but either way, she was still gorgeous. And I like how she would wear, like, cute and sexy dresses. I read that poor Amy attempted suicide when she was 10. Amy was not happy about her parents' separation. Her father, Mitch, left her, and Amy's mom, Janice, for another woman. A friend of Amy's found her clutching her stomach in agony. She started foaming at the mouth, and her eyes were rolling. Amy overdosed on pills because she did not want to live. She told her friend that she wanted to go for a long sleep. Oh my God, Amy. And then Alex Foden, Amy's hairdresser, was responsible for Amy's beehive hairdo. She said that Amy talked about dying young, and Amy knew that she would be a member of the 27 Club. Wow. Well, sadly, unfortunately, she was right. She died at 27, and now she's part of the 27 Club. I mean, it reminds me of Kurt Cobain, because according to Kurt Cobain's sister, Kimberly, he would always tell her that he wanted to be a member of the 27 Club. And after Kurt died, his mother, Wendy O'Connor, said, and now he's gone to that stupid club. I told him not to join that stupid club, but he didn't listen. Kurt and Amy wanted to join the 27 Club badly. I guess they felt that they wouldn't be appreciated or loved unless they joined the 27 Club, which is sad. After her marriage with Blake, she dated British writer and director of films Reg Travis from early 2010 until Amy's death. Now, unlike Blake, Travis seemed to not have any issues with drugs. So it seems like Travis and Amy were right for each other. Amy and Reg planned on getting married and intended to have children. But obviously, that did not happen. On July 23, 2011, Amy passed away at the age of 27, just 2 months before her 28th birthday. I was 20 years old when she died. Amy's bodyguard said he arrived at her residence 3 days before her death and felt she had been somewhat intoxicated. He said Amy was laughing, listening to music, and watching TV at 2 a.m., the day she died. At 10 a.m., he observed her lying in bed and tried unsuccessfully to rouse her, since she usually slept late after a night out. Shortly after 3 p.m., he checked on her again as she was lying in the same position. He checked on her and concluded that she was not breathing and had no pulse. At 3:54 p.m., 2 ambulances were called to Amy's home in Camden, London. A report was released on October 26, 3 months after her death, and Amy's blood alcohol content was at the level of 416. Oh my goodness. 3 days after her death, on July 26, there was a private funeral. Dang. She had her funeral 3 days later? Dang, that was quick. Good Lord. Anyways, her parents, close friends like Nick Grimshaw and Kelly Osbourne. Oh, that's right. Yeah, I remember. Her and Kelly were close friends. Producer Mark Ronson, her goddaughter Dion Brumfield, and Reg Travis were in attendance. She was later cremated. A year later, her ashes were buried alongside Cynthia, her grandmother. On December 2nd, 2011, Amy's posthumous album was released, featuring unreleased songs, covers, and demos. I got the album on Christmas Day, along with the Frank album. The album features 12 songs. The singles Body and Soul with Tony Bennett, Our Day Will Come, Between the Cheats, Tears Dry, the original version, Will You Still Love Me Tomorrow, Like Smoke featuring Nas, Valerie, the 68 version, The Girl from Insomnia, Halftime, Wake Up Alone, the original recording, Best Friends Right, and A Song for You. Tony Bennett was another one who regrets about not having the chance to talk to Amy about her problems, because he could relate to her, because he went through the same thing, and luckily at the right time, he was able to pull through. Amy has her own statue in Camden Town, London, since 2014. Amy has opened doors for other artists such as Adele, Duffy, and Sia. Adele has so much love for Amy. Adele says she owes 90% of her career to Amy Winehouse. Shout outs to Adele. I love that Adele gives Amy so much love. It's a beautiful thing. Amy Winehouse's legacy still lives on. Her music will still live on. It just sucks that she's not here anymore. I wish she was still here. I wish she was still making more music. Then yesterday, well, this was before her death anniversary, I was wondering if the U.S. were going to talk about her. Like, I was wondering if, ABC News or, like, The View or, like, The Real, the United States were going to talk about Amy's 10th death anniversary. But apparently they didn't. Well, F you. I'm going to keep Amy alive, her legacy alive, and everybody else that love her. F the U.S. But it just seems like ever since Amy passed away, it seems like she's not talked about. It's kind of like she's forgotten, and she shouldn't be forgotten. Rest in peace, Amy. I still miss you dearly. Tell me where you guys were on the day Amy Winehouse died on July 23rd, 2011. What did you guys think when people just bashed her and judged her based on her appearance and the way she dressed? Talking about she was the worst dresser of all time. Shut up. Oh, the way she dressed and, the media and the paparazzi giving her a hard time. Tell me your thoughts. Rest in peace, Amy.